Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Thursday, the 24th of April, and it's another one of my amazingly unpredictable live chats. I'll wait to see who turns up, but I thought we could have a quick discussion about how many people attended that version 4 presentation. And did you have any initial thoughts or feelings? And I'm going to give you my initial take before we actually, proper hands-on look at it. I've got a feeling we're going to probably see it very early next week or very soon, because you wouldn't see a presentation like that if it wasn't happening very, very soon. So I'm going to say either Monday or Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, but Monday or Tuesday. I've got a feeling we're going to get it pretty soon. So I'm going to wait to see who turns up. Hey, Jack. Hey, Kenny. How you doing? I'll wait for a few more to turn up, and I'll give you my initial thoughts about what we're getting. But also, I think how some people, I think, need to curb the enthusiasm or what they think their expectations may be. Because, yeah, I'll get on to that in a bit more. Fantastic news today, because one client whose website we've been working on, the owner, the manager, and their team are absolutely happy, amazed with what I've gone and produced for them. So we're just waiting for their host provider now to deploy the website over. So that's great. I always love it. I love it when customers, clients are really, really happy. It's great for relationship building. It's great for word of mouth referrals. It's great for your own reputation, your own sanity, your own imposter syndrome, all of those things. You feel really good at it. But one of the bits of advice I would give to anyone who ever does work on a staging site and you do a deployment to the original domain is always take a full backup of whatever you've built, because the host provider are going to manage the migration of the website. Okay, that's how they like to do it, and that's fine. But if anything breaks or goes wrong, make sure you've got a full files and database backup, like proper download of the entire site and the back end. So if the migration fails and they can try again and it fails, you can say, okay, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. Just make sure that WordPress website now has a fresh installation. And then what do? Whoop, you import whatever you downloaded. Okay. And you do that, and you got a fail save. There's many times I've seen people where they've done a deployment from a backup or a staging site, and something mucks up, and then their staging site is mucked up as well. And I'm sat there going, "What did you do? how did you mess that up?" Hey Mario, hope you're okay. So, how many of you watched the version 4 Elementor kind of like hands-on reveal? Because we've heard about bits and pieces, right? But how many of you actually watched it, or how many of you are aware of it? Sorry, I was about to yawn then. So I'm going to just wait for a few more to turn up before we talk a bit more. But I'd love to get your take as well. And are you bothered? Not bothered? Don't care? Don't use Elementor? Do use Elementor? Don't even know what version 4 is yet and all of that? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Mario, you could call it a sales promotion, but I would probably say every company's going to kind of do that, right? In a way. So they were obviously going to use the event because it was a roadmap. That's the other thing to kind of bear in mind. It wasn't a dedicated version 4 reveal webinar presentation kind of thing. It was like where were we? Quarter 2 roadmap. So they were obviously going to recap and all of that. But yeah, with regards to version 4, it was good to see a bit more hands-on of it. So we kind of know a little bit about what's going to come out for us in a way. Ritesh hasn't seen it yet. Okay, so I'm going to give you my opinion of it just in case anyone else is watching this as a replay. My thoughts or my feelings are that this is first step. We were always told that version 4, whoop, like that, version 4, V4, was going to come out in stages. based on I took screenshots. So as the presentation was going on, I took screenshots because I wanted to make sure I don't miss out on anything. What is very, very clear is that we are getting 7 things from the get-go. And then over time, we will have more revealed bit by bit by bit. And I don't know what the roadmap is exactly, but at the minute we got 7. So what we got was a flexbox and a div. Um, when would you use a div over a flexbox? Well, most likely you're going to use the flexbox if you just want to go straight into that. But the div is practically the same thing. It's just the div though is just a div. So you might use that as a component to build a component. Anyway, flexbox div, heading, image, paragraph, SVG, and button. That's all we're getting at the moment. So I think a lot of people have to like not be shocked or surprised or devastated that there won't be a version 4 version in a way of lots of other widgets. I think a lot of people have to get their head around this, okay? So version 4 is now going to give us 2 tabs. We have the content and the style tab, and the style tab contains a lot of the styling and some of the stuff you would have found in the advanced thing. Hey Dave, hey Clock. But you're only going to get those, right? And the new class system. This is the other thing you got to get into your head, right? Those and the class system are only going to be for those, get my fingers right, 7 widgets, right? Flex, div, heading, image, paragraph, SVG, icons in a way, and button, okay? 7 things. Every other widget, like accordion or tabs or flipbox or the WordPress menu, they are still going to be the old 3 tabs. Content or layout, depends. No, it's content, style, advanced. They're still going to be set up like that. So when version 4 lands, remember it's an alpha version, right? Final version is what we like to use. Before that, you have a beta version. Before the beta, we have alpha. Alpha could massively change when it goes from alpha to beta. So this is not the final version. So you should not be using it with any of your websites at the moment. This is still massively testing. Flexbox Container was in alpha mode for almost a year. I think it was 2022, January-ish. I think January, February. We got Flexbox Container. And for almost a good year, 2023, it was in alpha. Then it moved into beta. And then we had the final. And that's when we started getting loop grids and other stuff popping up. Remember 2023, midway? That's when we had the taxonomy filter. Stuff started landing, right? But we could be a good year. Maybe not a year, but maybe it'll be quicker. I don't know what their production development team is like in terms of speed or fixing or other stuff, right? But this is alpha stage, and we're only going to have the 2 style tab and the 2 style tab and the class system for 7 widgets. So don't start going, whoa, version 4 is here. We can now build this and do that and do that. No, this is for testing. This is for you to trial it out. This is to get an idea on what's going on. Any views on the KG racism stuff? I am not sure. What are you referring? I mean, I haven't seen it. You might have to advise a bit more. I'm not sure what you're referring to. I'm not sure what you're referring to. So you might have to, I don't know, email me, info@websquadron.co.uk, or tell me a bit more about what's happening. Clark did have a question, Baron. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Are you ever going to cover WP Turbo? Because I like using code snippets, even though some of my snippets do utilize and use WP Turbo, I'm not enthusiastic about covering that WP Turbo. I'm quite happy with code snippets and using AI and stuff like that. But yeah. Pop culture question, nothing to do with websites, to be honest. What's that, Clark? Oh, do you mean your question about WP Turbo? Yeah, I mean, when I first started looking at code snippets, I started looking at all the other solutions as well. But I found that because um I'm quite familiar with the code snippets team, friends with Verdi, Artif, Shea, Imans, Nathan. I feel like I feel like out of honor, you know, I want to stay loyal to the code snippets plugin. All right, the KG. Well, I'm not sure. I mean, unless is it something he posted? So that's my question to you. Is it something that he posted or something he said without us going into major details about it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll have to do a search. I mean, I don't even know who this Robert Dvori. Who's that? I don't know who Robert Dvori is. I mean, I'm doing a search now for. I mean, why would Robert Dvori do that out of interest? Has he got some sort of has he got some sort of issue with Kevin? I mean, people have all. I mean, I don't even know what Kevin said. Okay, honest truth, I don't know what it said. I mean, people have always said something or whatever in the past, so I think it will very much depend on what it is. Anyway, Ritesh, wondering, will you be doing any videos in which you may provide feedback for websites we have built on Elementor? The thing is, though, Ritesh, right? If you email me at info@websquadron.co.uk right now, is my mouth out of sync? I feel like when I'm talking, I feel like I'm slightly out of sync. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you feel like my audio and visual is out of sync? I think it is. That usually requires me to reboot my machine, which I'm not going to do now. If you email me on info@websquadron.co.uk, I will quickly put it up and we'll do a quick review. And when I say quick review, it will be a pretty quick, nifty-ish review thing. So it's up to you. If you want to email me, info@websquadron.co.uk, we can have a look at your site and see what we got there. So I have found the thread, but I'm not sure I'm gonna look at it. I'm not sure I'm not gonna look at it just yet. Because I'm worried that it might, I don't know. I don't want to look at it yet. I'll look at it another time. Hey, Liquid Media. Thank you for confirming that sync is good. And thanks to Mario as well. Sul, video audio sync works well. So yeah, for anyone that's just joined in and you haven't seen what I said about 3-4 minutes ago, when it comes to version 4 of Elementor, please remember it's only 7 widgets, what I could tell. They're the only 7 that are going to have the new layout, style tab, and the class system. Do not install version 4 on a production website. Only install it on a test website or a brand new installation, because this is all alpha at the moment. Also, please remember that it is just 7 widgets. So don't go in expecting to use your accordion or your loop grid or your carousel. None of them are version 4 ready yet. So even though we're getting version 4, it is very much piecemeal. 7 widgets to start with, and they could change. Because I did spot a few things, but I don't want to say it or put my tuppence in to say what I think of it until I actually get hands-on and test it. But I did notice 2 things which made me go, okay, how do we handle this then? Like, what does this mean? But I do need to test it out. Hi, Abdul. Thanks for saying hi. I saw it the first time. I just didn't reply. But I hope that's okay. Question, are you going to make tutorial for PDF viewer in Bricks? Well, here's the thing, Sol, right? That code I gave you, you can use in Bricks. if you notice my video, nowhere on the cover art does it have the Elementor logo. It has the WordPress logo, which means you can use it in Bricks, Breakdance, Gutenberg, any way you want. Which is why I won't be doing separate videos in other stuff kind of thing, yeah? But it will work. If it doesn't work, that might be due to something in Bricks, but I did some testing and I have found it worked across many platforms. The only time where you might have an issue, though, is if you are fetching the image or the URL from a CDN or somewhere else. You got to watch out for that because you're pulling it. So it might appear after a delay, but that's why I always say make sure your PDF and your image is inside of your media library and you should be all right. Hey, Samu, I hope you're all right. Abdul, what's this? Is in upcoming time, will WordPress die? Well, what do you think, Abdul? What do you think? You tell me. 20 years, right? Still here. What's happening with Matt Mullenweg and Automatic? We don't know. Sorry, I yawn a lot more. I find myself yawning a lot more because I've been working very late and very early in the mornings. I mean, look, just to give you an idea, right? It is now 2:24 in the UK. I've been working for just under. In 5 minutes, it will be 7.5 hours. And the only break I've had in those 7.5 hours was to go to the toilet, quickly grab something to eat, or when I had a shower, right? So already I've hit 7.5 hours. So already I'm feeling a little bit exhausted. Abdul says, what about Webflow? I had a very quick look at Webflow, never got into it. I found the community too small. I also found the community to be very tribal, not as open and engaging and helpful as, say, WordPress. And I also found that there's limitations as to what you can do. Like with WordPress, there's always someone somewhere developing a new solution, right? I was working on a WooCommerce subscription code snippet. It's practically there. However, now and again, there's a critical error. So I've just stopped working on it because it was doing my head in. But I love how we can take the CMS or another existing plugin or a bit of code and we can reinvent and create some amazing things. Ritesh is right. I don't think WordPress is going to die anytime soon. Even if Matt Mullenweg gets sued out his arse, WordPress will still be here. Samu, is it possible to create a dynamic custom testimonial carousel or custom UI while using other third party? Okay, so my question here, right, is why won't you just get Elementor Pro? Because if you want to do what you're saying, take your entire question, yeah? Take your entire question, Samu, stick it in ChatGPT and see what ChatGPT says. Yeah? Stick it in ChatGPT. So no point asking me because I'm going to say just use Elementor Pro. And I probably won't even think about any other way to do it because I would have used Elementor Pro. You have your custom post. I did a video on it. You got a custom post type called testimonial. You're entering your testimonial. You have a loop grid or a loop carousel. That points back to the custom post type. And then you show all your testimonials. Job done. Brilliant. We're laughing now. But when you say Elementor free, I'm not so sure. So I'm going to say go and stick it into ChatGPT and see what it says. Ritesh just sent a quick email with the email address. So I'm going to... I'm just going to open it and see what we get. Okay, cool. Right. So let's do a quick review of Ritesh's website. Yeah, but Samu, like I said, right, yeah. The thing is, though, Samu, that kind of question, right, doesn't mean nothing. Real professional, because a real professional. Here's my really no bullshit, no honest answer, right? A real professional will be using Elementor Pro. That's your answer. If you just want to use a free solution and you want to know how to do it, well, there's millions of ways you could approach it, and everyone's going to have a different way. So I would say get Elementor Pro or stick it into ChatGPT, and it will give you some code. It'll probably give you a code snippet, probably give you some JavaScript, and then you'll be able to work it out. The thing is, though, Clark, right, if you want to build a website like Yapily, you need to use the My Listing theme, which is $69. Use it, it's worth it, and it comes with so much stuff. Right, okay, right, let's just have a quick look at this website for Ritesh. Ritesh, just confirm you're there before I boot it up. Just confirm it, just confirm you're there, Ritesh. Once I know you're there, I'll start talking. So we're going to have a quick look at Ritesh's website. He's learned a lot from watching me, he says. In fact, I'm just going to go live with it. So if you're not here, Ritesh, you're going to miss out. Okay, cool. So this is the website. I'm going to do a quick refresh in case there's any animation, which there isn't. That's pretty good sometimes, I say. Cool, Ritesh is here. Empathy employer, that's good. Badge of honor, you know, that's quite good. Title, you're repeating it, but that's okay. That's quite nice as a mega menu. That's really that's nice. That's quite good as well. Nothing here for services and benefits, but you can let that go. I think that's quite good because you get a bit of reading information there. Attract talent, foster culture, boost morale. Now, there is one slight problem, and this is me being picky now, right? These feel like absolutes. Attract talent, foster culture, boost morale. I would recommend you turn that into a comma and that into a comma, so that you're now saying that when you attract talent, you foster the culture, you boost morale. Okay? Because they feel like absolutes, they feel separate. Sentence, sentence, sentence. But when you comma and comma there, then it's attract talent, foster culture, boost morale. Now we're feeling like the connection. You do this, and you'll get this, and you'll get this. Do you know what I mean? They feel connected. Celebrate. Yeah, I mean, look, nominate, learn how this works. It's free. This is all pretty good. I like the clarity. It is quite clarity. It is quite clear. I mean, I don't know what you do. I don't know exactly what you offer, but I get a feeling that this is about being a better employer. So I know I'm in the right place if I'm looking for that. What if you make it like animation? Now, Rinjugu Sachi says that, but I think, right, that, you know, the whole animation change, I feel like that can get a little bit, if you think about professional employers who are coming on, who might want this for their corporation or their organization or business, if you have animated headlines, I don't think they're going to like that, because now they've got to sit and watch and wait, like a slide, like a carousel. No. All right. For gimmick or people who are just trying to attract a niche market, you can get away with it. But I think professional people, they just want to be able to skim read, boom, 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 move on. They don't want to sit there waiting for the, you know, the next word or phrase to drop in. So think about that. Media mentions, that's really good. The only thing I would say is, no, actually, it's okay. I was going to make a comment about how big that logo was, but no, it's fine. Ignore it. Recognition certificate. Yeah, this is all good so far. So far, this is, I mean, I think your spacing is good. Yeah, okay, that's a neat little micro animation. You know, that's pretty neat. You can get away with that because it's not like it's flipping or doing anything busy. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Just, you might want to double check this. Can you see that because it grows, can you see there's a bounce there? Can you see the bounce? Can you see it on the wording? Look at the wording. The wording, it shifts a bit. So just watch out for that. But that's a minor thing. I think that's okay. I mean, I'm not going to spend too long on it, but I think that's fine. You know, I just want to double check your, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it is lacking images. It is lacking images like real people. Because at the moment, I don't know who you are. I don't know the company. I don't even know if you're a real company. Because you could be a fake company that's just put up photos. And if I go to your about page, again, I don't know if you're real. I don't know who you are. Do you know what I mean? There's no names. There's no names. There's no nothing at the moment. There's no team. So who would I be working with? It's a one-man band, a team of people. So I would say that whoever this is for, company or whoever it's for, I would say that it needs to have a little bit of just some people, some faces, some names. Who's the CEO? Who's a director? Who am I going to be speaking to? Who's going to be negotiating the costs or the project or the plan or the services? So I think stuff like that would be pretty good. Abdul, where are you from? Well, I'm from where I am. That's my answer. Did my listing include the support for multiple types of membership? Yeah, I mean, you can set up different packages, Clark. So you can set up like a monthly package or an annual package or a free package. There's loads of stuff you can do there. That all comes bundled in. John, how you doing? Section spacing is a bit... Yeah, I mean, the section spacing... I mean, I let it go. The section spacing did look quite big. The maximum I ever go to is 100 pixel. I don't like to go beyond 100 pixel, but yeah, they were big. John does make a good point. I was going to let it go, but yeah. I feel like those box cards feel a bit like buttons that should link to somewhere. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was wondering as well when I hovered over it. Like, okay, so it's just a micro animation there. You know, what is the point of it? Please check my website. Abdul, I can't check your website because you can't share links in here. You have to send links to info@websquadron.co.uk. Like I said about version 4 Elemental, I'll repeat myself for people that are coming. When it lands, it's the alpha version. We're going to get bits drip fed. It's only actually active for 7 widgets. It's probably going to change. So I've got a feeling that some will like it, some will hate it, some will have issues. I've already spotted a couple of issues, but I need to wait until I get my hands on it to make sure I'm not going to mention or say, well, how do we do this then? Because we can't do it. So that will become more real. I've got a feeling we're going to get it next week. When do you think we're going to get? Well, it will be in version 29. So version 29, there will be a beta version, I bet, or a version that lands. We haven't even had a version 29 beta yet, but we'll get a version 29, and inside of there, or with that, I bet we get the version 4 Elemental editor. It's an exciting time, I think, because to be able to build with classes, right? And you gotta, for those of you that aren't used to classes, it's being able to assign like a font size, like a font color, background color, border radius, all of these things. But what's really crucial to get your head around is that you could have, I haven't received your email yet, Abdul. So until I get your email, I can't do anything. Right. So you could have a button. You could have a class for button color. Then you could have a separate class for button animation. Maybe you want to apply different animations to different buttons. One of them is like a hover, like a grow. Another one is something else. You know, you may have a class for hero banner button. And then you may have a class for services button. You know, you may have slightly different colors, for instance. So it does the same thing, but the color might be different. I personally think that you should just like create one button, whatever it needs to do with the font and all of that. And then when you drop it in, go and change the color. I always find that sometimes, you know, I don't like it if you have like 7 buttons because they're all different color. Just create one that you can maintain and then just pick your button on the fly and you should be all right. John says, I did a project with 3GS using exclusively Claude AI. It's not a WordPress project, but I would like to get feedback on it. It's a 3D Pergola configurator simulator. Whoa, John. That sounds exciting. Hey, stop thinking. Fact Fusion. I sent an email with my site for your review. Okay, what's your name, Fact Fusion? Are you Yasir? Are you Yasir Osman? Just confirm your name for me, please, just so I know who I'm talking to. Just confirm your name. Yeah, you're Yasir. Cool. Shaffer says how to add maintenance to WordPress work in the background. What do you mean by add maintenance work? You mean updates and stuff like that? Right, cool. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, Donald, Divi's doing it, Bricks is doing it, loads of people are doing it. And I think at the time, it was not part of Elemental's agenda to do it. But now that they realize that so many people like that kind of building with classes or presets, they're now joined the bandwagon on that. So I'm glad that they're doing that. Right, okay, so we're now looking at Yasir, or on here he calls himself Fact Fusion. We're looking at his website. So I'm just going to do a quick refresh to see if there's any animation. So it comes in. You're offline over there, so you need to put in some negative left margin. Sometimes when you drop things in, headings they're not fully flush on the left hand side, so I would just set your container overflow to be hidden and then add in some minus left margin over there. Most campaigns don't bring real results. We fix that. It kind of works, but at the same time, I feel like I see this. I'd want to know how we fix that. How? Because a lot of social media posts will say that, but then they don't really ever tell you anything more. But then you do have an image over here to say conversion rate and all of that. So, you know, it might pique interest. We scroll down. That needs to be blue. I find that blue on orange doesn't work very well. I would go with a white font on over there. That's just me. Same with that menu. I don't know. This is just me being picky now, okay? This is me just being picky. I don't like the wideness of this. So this is just way too wide. I mean, you know, the 2 orphaned words going over there. I would box that entire bit. I would boxercise it. I would make the text be like 60%, 65% of the width. I'd bring that in. Same with here. It's a lot of text, right? But it's very wide. Again, I would boxercise it in a bit. We're a creative market agency. Right, now you see here that statement... Yeah, okay, all right, we'll let it go. You need breathing space over here. You got breathing space, and then you've got this icon right there. You got to add in some distance from the blue above. Where choose who, define your audience, end sounds. Yeah, this kind of works. This is quite nice. You got some animation like a GIF or something going on in there. See what I mean here? You boxercised it, but the ones above you didn't. You need to have some spacing here, though. I would have at least a minimum of 60 to 80 pixel minimum, just to space out a bit. That doesn't have to even be that big, if I'm honest. Can be a little bit smaller, but it depends on how you want to demonstrate what you've got over here. Okay, right. I'm going to pick up on something here now. I'm going to pick up on something, right? The other website I looked at, there was a lot of consistency. over here, I get a feeling of what the website's going to be like. Then here, I get a different feeling. Then here, I get a completely different feeling again. I feel like there's different styles creeping in. Even though it's the same brand and color, it feels like the way it's flowing isn't working for me at the minute. I feel like I might as well be looking at one website, another website, and a completely different website. And then we get onto here. And now I feel like I'm now looking at another, like, look, all this stacking that's going on. It's great, but this feels like you've learned something and then you've just thrown it in. You've adapted it, but it's not consistent. It's not flowing for me. You know, it's like, if you're going to say, well, this is how we're going to present like that, and I would expect other stuff to be similar-ish. I mean, I would say, though, the line height here is very big. They're quite big, those line heights. Because then, look, you got completely different line heights here. Different line heights. Well, that's probably roughly the same, actually. I'm not sure what these do, so these are probably going to be buttons. And then, look, you've got this, like, you've got a lottie. I mean, it feels, let me just go back a bit. It feels like there's a lot going on there. So I think you're in the right place, okay? I think you're in the right place, but I do think you may need to just have a think about your flow and what you're trying to say here. So I'm just going to quickly just check some of the messages. Stop thinking, how can I send my site for a review? It'll be helpful if you give me some suggestions. info@websquadron.co.uk. Yeah, there you go. Fact, that's what it is, fact, right? So you're watching other tutorials and then you're learning something and then you're putting it on. But what you got to do is take a step back and go, how do I want to present? And if you mix between 1 and 2, you can get away with it. When you start to have 3, 4, 5, 6, it gets a little bit repetitive. Right, okay, right. We're just going to go to the next one. So this is Abdul, right? This is Abdul's website. So now we're going to jump into Abdul's website really quickly. We're doing this as quick as I can. Right, we're going into Abdul's website now. Okay, so this is Abdul Munium? Okay, right. So we've got his website. Let's just refresh it. There's nothing flying in. Okay, yep, SEO, AI driven. For that logo doesn't actually signify or mean anything. There's a danger there because it just looks like an S, right? SEO, and I haven't even got a company name, so I don't know what the point of the logo is at the moment. So just bear that in mind. AI-driven SEO and Google Ads for e-commerce brands in Europe. That's quite wordy. AI-driven SEO and Google Ads for e-commerce. We help online stores scale profitably. Hang on, let me just make sure your screen is right, because I do sometimes zoom in to just make sure that is 0. Yeah. High converting good. So look, you're repeating yourself. SEO, Google Ads, visibility, build for growth, not traveling. That needs work. That's not working for me at all. That's not working. And I would say this green color is very different from this green color, right? So I feel detached. Don't know what the company name is. Logo doesn't mean anything. Completely neonish green. Different from that green. It's not connecting. And that, stick that in ChatGPT and say to ChatGPT, I'll tell you what, stick all of that into ChatGPT and say, give me a 7 or 8 word impact headline for my website. Give me 10. And it will give you 10 ways of saying that in a slightly better way. Then say, now give me a more impactful and meaningful subheadline. And then it will drop that out for you as well. So do that. Okay. Book a call. Seriously, this is the mistake a lot of people make. Book a call. Why would I want to book a call? You haven't really told me what you're going to do or how you're going to do it. Why would I want to book a call with you? I don't even know what your prices are. I don't know what you offer. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you're based. Don't fall into that mistake, okay? Book a call. Why would anyone want to do that? How about, this is how we help you. This is how we accelerate. This is how we escalate. This is how we get you leads. This is how we boost your conversions. Let's boost your conversions. Start putting that shit in there. That's going to be more meaningful than book a call. No, I'm not booking a call. I don't know who you are. Is this you? Is this you? So now we're going over to a video, right? And this is going to be a AI. Is this you? Is this the person? Because if this is the person, right? Is that the person? I'm guessing it is. I don't know. I'm guessing it is. I don't know. So this is interesting, but it's very wordy. Look at it. That is very, very wordy. That needs to be broken up with images, right? Like, who's going to sit there and read all that? I would if I was in a coma, and even then I don't. Whatever you need to grow, we got you covered. This is quite neat. This is neat, but there's a lot, again, there's a lot going on. It's very busy. Again, you got to think, right? How does that look on a mobile? How does that look on a mobile? Right? I'm not going to go to the mobile. Unless you have a change in color, because even though you've got a background there with the circles, because it's black on black, that line, boom, for me, destroys the image. If I was going to do that, I would have a different color here, so that the slicing feels like it has to happen because we moved into another section. Do you get what I mean? Because right now I'm looking at that and I'm going, right, the only reason you've sliced it is because you didn't have a full body shot. So you got to think about how a lot of us now, we are very analytical in, well, why have they done that for? So if that was inside of a box or a circle or a frame, you could get away with it. Yeah, this is okay. But again, these are very wordy. So one of the problems with the website at the moment is it's very, I mean, I'm not a fan of this. You know, this whole like the whole tilt. I think, yeah, you know, I don't like that. Timeline, brilliant. I like the way the color grows, but it is very, I mean, look, it's very wordy and it goes on and on and on and on and on. And I had to go up past all of that to get to this. If you ask me, this should have been, I would say, probably here. Somewhere here. You hooked me in with what you're going to do. Now tell me the price. Yep, I now want to book you. I want to book that call. Instead, I have to go, you know what? Fuck this. I'm bored. That's what a lot of people will do. I can't be asked. And how does this look on a mobile? How far do I have to scroll before I get to this? So I think you've got a lot of rich information. I think it just needs reorganizing a little bit. Right, let's just fly through. Okay, so I'm just deleting these websites. Ritesh is gone. Yasser is gone. Abdullah's gone. Ewan. Clark Media. Ewan. Are you on, Ewan? Are you there? Where are you? Where's Ewan gone? Or Clark Media, sorry. Where's Clark Media? Are you there, Clark? Right, we're going to jump into Clark's website. Here you go. Right, cool. Let's just do a quick refresh because there were some animation. I quite like these these animations work well, all right, because it just scrolls in. Can I make a recommendation, Ewan? I did a video about how you can control the fade up. So can you see your fade up here? And this one, look, that scrolls over the text and this scrolls over the logo. I did a video where you can control how much movement there is. Go and watch that video because there's a bit of code. So now when this moves, it might start here and go up. And here it might start somewhere and go up. Because when you have it going over the logo, I find it a little bit of a distraction. But that's me being panickety picky. Right, welcome to Clark Media, elevating your online presence. That works. That works. The weight is fine. Yeah, they're okay. Now, you see what I said earlier about the slicing. So what Clark has got here, you've got can I just brighten my screen for a moment? Because I was recording earlier, so I just need to brighten my screen a bit. For you guys, it looks fine, but for me, the brightness might have been down. There's purple here. just at the bottom there, Clock. Can you get rid of that purple gap? Because then, right, when it slices at the bottom, because it's in a box, it will work. Because that just, it breaks, it doesn't look like it was done right, like it was rushed. So just get rid of that there. That is hard to read. I know what it says, but for some people, that is a little bit difficult to read, kind of thing. So I would either make the circle bigger or maybe get rid of one of the words. So maybe like design, develop, hosting, or just design and hosting kind of thing, you know? And I know what Donald is saying, it looks like part of the border, but I just think that bit at the bottom, I think you need to make it meet the bottom a bit better. The colors are quite good. I like the colors. I like the colors, Donald. Not Donald. Ewan. Sorry, I've got names ringed up. Donald was the other person. I like the colors. The only thing that is bothering me a bit is, you know, these images, because the gradient is so strong, I have to stare at the image to make out what the image is a little bit. This is good. You know, so there's consistency. Now, some of you are going to say, but everything here looks different. Yeah, but if you look at it carefully, it flows so much better. And when we go from like, you know, the way the wordings are, the layouts, it just works. I think it works quite well. Even though this is a different style now to what we had over here, it just flows a little bit better kind of thing. So I'm going to say, Clock Media, Ewan, I like your website. I like it. And I can see a lot of people hopefully engaging with you who are going to want to work with you, because that was a good, there wasn't anything major for me to jump up and down about. Right, here we go. John Cyanidis. He created a, wow, I think you're going to like this. I've just gone into it. So he's created a pagoda. He's used AI. John has used AI to create this. I mean, whoa. I mean, I would not know how to ever start or do. I mean, look at the position of the sun. How funky is this? Show background. I mean, that's probably, those are giant leaves, John. But this is really good. Right. I mean, this is extraordinary. I don't know. I mean, however you've built this, right, with AI, this is absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm just now like, this is brilliant. You know what? This is something I think you should develop and you should sell to garden companies, right? You start selling this to garden companies and stuff, and you will have people hiring you out left, right, center, my friend, or buying this off you. You know, this is just, I mean, look, I mean, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, isn't it? I mean, just look at it. This is brilliant. This is brilliant. Right, next one. Well done, John. I mean, hats off to you. That is probably the most amazing thing that I have seen someone do with a bit of AI. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. Right, Rustam sent his website in as well. Rustam, are you there? No, which one is Rustam? Where's Rustam gone? Rustam at Frame the Pixel. Okay, I think, did we do your website before once? Did we ever review your website once before? So Frame the Pixel, I'm just going to do a quick refresh because you get this. I'm not sure about the confetti because I'm just not sure that it works for me. Might work for you and other people. I'm just not sure it works for me. We create pixel perfect websites that work. Now, when you have singular words where you have this animation, you can get away with it. I need a website. That's a really good call to action. I need a website. We've got some gradient colors that change, which, because they're pastel colors, I would slow it down. It's a bit too quick. I would slow down the speed of that color change in the background, right? I would do that down. We create pixel perfect websites that work, that sell. Now, I'm sure the rest of your website is going to make sense. And I quickly scrolled. But if I landed on here and I landed on another website where they're also making the claim that they make websites that work, and the other one had images of some of those websites, do you think I'm going to stay here or will I go to the other one? Because talk is talk, but I need to see results. So I feel like you know here where you got the services. So there's this like big bit of estate. What's that? 35% of your estate down here at the moment. And then you start to talk about all of that. I would replace that bottom section with 3 website images. Show me, try and pick websites that aren't too dissimilar to the vibe and color scheme you got here. You don't want anything really bright, red, green, really bright, bold, you know, that damages the pastel colors you got here. But I need to see something that's going to make me go, he's telling the truth. Because you're telling you create pixel perfect websites that work, but then I'm going to look at it and go, but there's no image. So from a professional point of view, I might not trust you now. For someone who is naive, they might stay, but if they've got another website open from another company and they've got images there, they might go, oh, I like what they've got. And then they forget about you. So yeah, take that on board. That can all get moved down. I'm not, so this stock images are great. We all use stock images. But there's what I call a level of stock images. These look so, how do I put it? They look, even though that is based on your website, I can see it there. You're showing off more of the laptop. You're showing off more of the laptop, you know, white space laptop. So I would say what you've done here works better. But I would say that if you look at what Ewan did on his website, let's just go back to Ewan's website, right? Where he did something like this, you don't have to have images. Just a logo, word, and a button or something can work really, really well. So you don't have to always have a button, right? Yeah, that's okay. I would move this website. Okay, so hear me out on this, right? This should be website number 1. Okay. This should be website number 2. This should be website number 3. Why have I asked you to rearrange the order? It's because of the way it's all to do with when the colors hit you. This feels like a bigger image. This feels smaller because of the very pastel color, the you know, the off-white, off-cream color beige you got there, page, cream, whatever it is, right? That you got there. That should be website 1. That should be website 2. And that should be website 3. So that it feels like you're going from a prominent image to an image where the blue color starts a little bit down. And then here, do you get what I mean? Because look, at the moment, I feel like my eyes are going down and up. Do you get what I'm saying about the visualness? So it's like gardens, right? Sometimes, right, you try and create variation, but you always ensure that when you're looking at it from the start, small, medium, and then you get the larger plants, right? Hold on. No, I don't know who that is. What you don't do is have large plants at the start, and then you go down to small towards the back. So have a think about that. Just swap those around. Clients, partnered clients. Yeah, I mean, I would have a bit more spacing, and please slow down the animation. Again, I would have a bit more space. So one of the things you're doing here, that looks to me like, I don't know, 40 pixel, 35, 40 pixel. I would increase it to 60, right? Because can you see there, that looks bigger than what you've got here or here. Sorry, here. Increase it to 60. Let it breathe. Just let it breathe. It'll work better for you. 60 there, even 60 there. It's okay. Just let it breathe a bit. Because you've got this gap here. Do it there. You don't have to go, well, I got a gap there, so I've got to make this one smaller. No, you can let it breathe. That's quite a funky page layout, actually. I quite like that. But yeah, that does kind of work-ish. So just a few areas of improvement there. Stop thinking. I want to tell you I've not worked on animation, change elements, so please suggest and correct my mistakes so I can improve it more. Huh? Correct your mistakes. Right, okay, so stop thinking. We're looking at your website now. So I go to this, okay, and there's too much going on. There really is too much going on here. Number one, that image just does not work for me at all. Just looks like it's taken off clip art or something. Does not work for me at all. Premium in every way except the price. That doesn't work either because I don't know what you do. You do hosting, but you're saying you're not expensive, right? But I don't know. I'm not convinced. It feels like a scam. So this is what a scam website would say. We do everything and we're the cheapest. Yeah, come to us. We'll give you this. There's no hidden fees. Expert support. How do you define who the expert is? Plan starting at just $260. Right, okay. We're jumping into like all of his stuff. Again, we lack images. We lack anything to make me trust you at the moment. This can work, but it needs more spacing, right? You need way more spacing here. This looks way too tight for me at the moment. The colors are, the colors are quite in your face, if I'm going to be honest, with the whole green. It's very, boom, in your face a little bit. Our control panel is icy. That doesn't mean anything to me. Think about who's going to use this website. Are they technical? Are they an expert? Are they going to get it? This does not mean anything. In fact, that makes me go, crap, that looks like it was built in the 90s or the 80s. Like MS-DOS. What's going on here? I'm used to using fancy apps and stuff on my phone and stuff. I don't want to be using that. So you got to think about, right, who is your audience? And then build your dream Minecraft, which you mention over here. But I can't tell that. I mean, look, now I can, but who is your audience? And when you say Minecraft, are we talking about kids, teenagers, adults? So you got to bear that all in mind. Right, I'm going to jump off that because we've got a few more to go through. And then I'm going to stop doing it because I don't do this all the time free, if you know what I mean. So Mohammed, you sent 2 websites. Oh no, I see you repeated it. Right. So where's Mohammed? Where's Mohammed? Hey Ugman, hope you're all right. Hope you're all right. Mohammed Arshad. Where's Mohammed Arshad? Reveal yourself, otherwise I won't show the website. Reveal yourself. I think we've flown through quite a few there, haven't we? We'll do one more, and then that will be it. And then that will be it, my friends. That will be it. What time is it? It's 3:06. How long have I been live? How long have I been live? Hey, Mohammed. Okay, cool. Right, very quickly. Ugman, what do I think about Elemental Stream yesterday? Good. We got some insight. I think we have to bear in mind it is just going to be 7 widgets. All of the other widgets will still be using the old style, so don't expect loads of things. It is alpha release. It's just out for testing. You can't use it on full-blown websites yet. It could change in the future. So I think people have to just calm expectation down a little bit of what they're getting. Hey, Nick. But I'll tell you what, I am excited. I am excited. I mean, there are a few things I've spotted. But I am looking forward to doing my review video on it. And but that's the thing you got to bear in mind, everyone. It's alpha, right? This is not the final version. It could change. It's only 7 widgets. So don't go, what about the accordion? What about the loop grid? No. What about the WooCommerce? No. They're still in the old style. We're only going to get Flexbox div, heading, image, paragraph. Hold on. Did that wrong. Flexbox div, heading, image, paragraph, SVG, and button. You're only getting 7 at the moment. Thanks, Ugman. Right. Okay. Hey, Shane. Right. So let's do a review for Mohammed Arshad, who has emailed over his website. Okay, cool. Let's just do a quick refresh. And the only animation we're getting is a micro animation with the automated carousels going on over there. We've got a speed thing going on there with the middle one. Was that intentional? Did you mean to have a different, slower speed there? Maybe you did. I don't know. Zetro, sign in. You got, nice menu. Yeah, that's all right. Oh, hold on. I just noticed something. So when you hover over it, that's interesting. When you hover over product, notice that it all blurs. But when you go to company, it did not blur. So I'm not sure. No, Samu, I don't use the Bloxy theme. Never used it. Don't intend to use it. So sorry, I can't talk about Bloxy theme. Ask me about Hello and I'll talk about Hello, but I don't know about Bloxy theme. AI-driven mortgage platform. That does not actually mean anything. For loan officers, now, loan officers should be in capital L, capital O, capital B, capital L. Make it feel like it's for them. Even though you are technically right with lowercase, you are almost making their importance inferior. Lowercase. Give them an uppercase capital. Make them feel important. AI-driven mortgage platform. What does that mean? 90% application, increase in loan, blah, blah, blah. That's got nothing to do with AI. So what is the AI? What is the AI? What is the AI bit? AI-driven mortgage platform. What do you mean? You haven't explained it. So then I've got to scroll down. Remember, some people won't care. Transform your mortgage business with AI. So then you're saying, trust the AI platform to eliminate. How is AI going to eliminate paperwork, engage borrowers in instant? Again, there's no example. You're saying it. Give me the example. Tell me how. How are you going to eliminate paperwork? How are you going to engage borrowers? How are you going to do that? So you've said close loans faster. So now you're telling me you're going to do that. This needs to be higher up. Delight your borrowers. Do you know something? This is far better than this. If you ask me, right, you need to have your impact headline over here. Impact headline, left-hand side, right? Say a bit more about what the AI is. And then you need to have something like this. Stay ahead of the competition. That. You know that section? That's your image on the right-hand side. Okay? Left-hand side, words. Right-hand side, you got that. Then when you come down, you do that, and that. Those three. You do those three. Then after that, you do all of this. You've got it in the wrong order. In my opinion, right? You need to convince me to stick around. So you need to hit me hard with stay ahead of the competition. You need to follow it with close loans, delight your borrowers, handle any loan. Then you come up with this shit over here, giving me the stats and the carousel, blah, 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 blah. And then you move on to 24 AI. Well, I actually think you need to get rid of this whole section. All of that. This is far better what you've got going on. This is far better. Right? Now you're leading me in. You're leading me in. That top bit, that whole hero banner, the whole application, all of that shit, I'd ditch it. I would ditch it. So that's my advice for you. I hope that was helpful to everyone so far who has emailed me. And I think we went through about 7. Did we go through 7? We went through a fair amount, didn't we? We went through a fair amount there pretty well. So I hope that was helpful for those of you that participated. It's not something that I like to do all the time because it ends up eating into, hey, Pickstar, it ends up eating into a lot of the live chat time. It's very unique and you just like how to create sorry, what's this? Cypher says like how to create filter whole website section from heading of the website. Shane's got a quick question. Holding page, landing page inspiration. So Shane, here's my advice, right? Imagine you got your page. I'd have my logo. I would have coming soon. I would have a countdown timer if you're planning to get it out there within a week or a month or a couple of weeks or whatever. Have a countdown timer. You don't have to. You can do. And then I would say, contact details. So you're going to have a form. That's what I would do. Page, logo, countdown timer, if you want, like coming soon. And then you might have a form for them to contact you or to social media. So like, your Facebook page, your Twitter page or your Insta page. If they are active on Instagram, but the website's not ready, why don't you go and get WP Social Ninja Pro widget or use some other solution? Just have an Instagram feed at the bottom so they feel still a little bit engaged. Just a landing page, right? It's just a holding page. Do that and you'll be fine. You'll do that. Right, you just do that and you'll be okay. It's pretty simple. It's not something you need a video for because everyone is different. But like I said, logo, coming soon, countdown timer if you want to do it, contact form, all social sharing icons for your company, not sharing, but as in your Facebook, your Insta, your TikTok, whatever you want. You don't even have to put an email, a contact form. You could just have like an email icon, right? So they can email you and stuff like that. You do that, and it's simple. It's pretty simple and easy to do. Right, so we have now been live for, I'm just going to do a quick check because Nick's mentioned it earlier, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, we're on 1 hour, 6 minutes now. Some point next week, I think, we're going to get version 3.29. I don't know if it will be a beta. Or will it just be 3.29 with the version 4 alpha? But it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be negative towards it. I'm telling you now. I'm saying it now, so you can quote me on this. I think there'll be a lot of negativity towards it because it doesn't cover every widget. But this is the thing everyone needs to understand. It is the alpha version, not the beta, not the final. We were told in January, or whenever we were told, I think it was January, we're going to get this in drips, right? Drip fed, bit by bit by bit. So this is work in motion. We're going to get 7 widgets. We can play around, test it out, do what we want with it. Never do it on a live website. This is for testing purposes. And then we'll get something else, and then something else, and then something else. And that's just how it's going to be until we get to the final version. But it means we get to learn along the way. And I think that's a pretty good way to go about it. I mean, I'll obviously be doing videos to cover it off whenever I can, whenever we have a new feature come out. As soon as that version 29, I think it is, lands, I will get my video out ASAP to give you my honest view because I've already spotted 2 things that I did not see covered. And I'm quite eagle-eyed. And I watched the replay again. I was like, no, I did not spot that. So I'm gonna try and explain why I feel like they've missed something. But at the same time, we have to be forgiving because it's the alpha version. So it will hopefully improve and there'll be glitches, bugs, things they've overlooked or whatever. So yeah, let's just see where it goes, all right? But I guarantee you there'll be some people going, oh, it's the version 4. It's not even finished. It's not even polished. Why can't I apply it to my spacer widget? Oh! Get a life. Chill out. It's the alpha version, okay? It's a bit like when we get the beta version and they're not always filled out either. So Mohammed, I've reviewed one website. I'm not going to do multiple websites for you, unfortunately, all right? Because hey, that's where we move into one-to-one consultation time, which I'm not going to give away and do for free forever. Shane, yeah, the thing is though, Shane, remember, right, it's just a holding page, right? You don't have to sell the entire website, right? How many times have you gone to a website with a coming soon and it's just a white page with black text or black page with white text? And that's it. they're letting you know we're not ready. We will be soon. And that's all you got to do. Hey, Matan, hope you're all right. Yeah, hey Pixar. Yeah, so Bricks version 2 or the alpha just landed, and yeah, it's got some interesting bits to it. But I feel like I'm less Bricks and I'm just back onto Elemental because things have massively changed. And I can definitely say that I can stick Elemental onto a brand new website. It's 100%. And I can build out the homepage without any plugin optimization except my code snippet and still hit 99% on a very busy page. So there's been so many improvements, and now that Elemental are slowly giving us the class system, I feel like I'm in my comfort zone with Elemental, and now I can experience a lot of the juicy stuff that we used to get with Bricks as well. But I like Bricks, I like Elemental, but ever since Elemental started rolling out the loop grids and taxonomies and this and that and that and that and that, it always felt like there's never a good time to jump back into doing Bricks videos for me because there was always something new with Elemental. And I'm often revisiting videos I did a year ago and 2 years ago where I did it a certain way, but now I've realized actually it's better to do it this way. Or we've now got a new feature or a new functionality where I can take it a step further. So I feel like I'm riding the Elemental wave at the moment. Some people say you only do that because Elemental's got more users. If you go and watch how many people view my videos, you will find that my videos don't get huge hits for viewing. Some of them have quite a bit, but some of them, they just chug along. Whereas if you do Bricks, you're pretty much guaranteed high hits because it's a small user base. There's not a huge amount of people doing videos for Bricks. So you do a Bricks video, there's a very high chance you're going to get a high hit rate. So that's... No, Pixar, you're not, Chris. It's actually a good question, Pixar, because it's something a lot of people ask me and I never properly explain it. But that's the main reason, is that I find that with all the developments of Bricks and Elemental, I feel myself pulled a little bit with where do you put your time kind of thing. Just go back to the questions that are coming up. Matan, I'll be happy to hear your opinion. I'm really confused what to do. I love the website world I've built only for practicing on Elemental and WordPress for myself, and now I've started a cyber course, but I feel a bit confused, not sure if that's right for me. Do you still think you can create a business based on design and no code development? Yes, because I've had someone got in touch 3 weeks ago. We just completed their website. We've had interest from 3 other people this week. It happens. And website development at the moment is not dying a death. And what you got to think about is by building websites, I was able to do more with Canva as well. I was able to get involved with AI. I was able to start honing in on coding for code snippets and stuff. Yes, I use AI, but I'm also able to start understanding the code and tinkering and actually challenging AI and go, no, that you shouldn't have done that. And you've repeated yourself here, or you've kind of undone something else. So you're able to take the way you learn, project management, time management, dealing with the stresses of problem clients, dealing with the problem of not getting any clients, and how do you manage, and financial management, because now you won't just go and spend all the money and profit you make. All of these things make you a better person for whatever comes next. And right now, it's still okay. And you may suddenly realize that as you do this, because you mentioned like a cyber course and all of that, you may realize that actually there's a market for you to do that. And you may do that and get clients. And lo and behold, someone you do some cyber work for may need a website, or they'll remember that you build websites and you're trustworthy. So there's so much, you can do, right? I mean, how many times has it been, right, where, someone who does something, but they also do other stuff as a hobby. And then you hear that someone else needs some help and you go, oh yeah, I know someone who do this as a hobby. They might be able to help you. And it's that continuous development. And you obviously want to do it because you've obviously started, learning about it. But now you need to take it up a notch. But be careful of how much time you put in and make sure you're still earning money elsewhere so that if it doesn't work out, you don't look back on it and go, I wasted my time. You got to kind of blend it with whatever else you got going on in your life. I've not seen the Ozarks actually. People do mention it, but I've not really got into it. Right, everyone, I've been live for 1 hour, 15 minutes. I'm going to drop off now and crack on with some other stuff because my drink that I've hardly touched has gone a bit warm now. But I'm going to jump off now. Great having you all here. I might be live tomorrow. I might not. And hopefully next week, some point, we will get version 4 alpha version of Elementor for us to all go and have a look and a bit of a play with. So I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to say goodbye. Take care. Have loads of fun, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.